How you doing, everybody? It's badbrad, and once again, saw a post on Facebook, and thought of a great, just something to comment on the music business. I'm down here in Florida now, as you know, and I've got a bad cold. I don't know where this came from, but anyway, so Pete Townshend said Jimi Hendrix was broke. Now, yeah, it's hard to fathom for most people to realize that, you can be so huge in the music business as Jimi Hendrix was and be broke. But the music business does music business stuff, and it can be very treacherous, and people can rob you and steal from you, and you can end up broke at the height of your career. Now, it goes on to say in the article, I'll post a little picture of it here, but Pete Townshend describes himself not knowing what was going on with their finances, and that their managers were robbing them blind, taking all of his Italian publishing money, and it wasn't until they called for an audit that they discovered that Kit Lambert, the man who was managing The Who, had been stealing from them. So, it's easy to be broke when people are stealing from you. But, the other factor is, and I've talked about it on here, is that, your decisions, the artist's decisions can really play a huge part in how much, money is lost. And, from my experience, I played with an artist who, just absolutely preferred having that bus. And, sometimes it would be less expensive to do fly dates. And, there's two types of road work. There's bus, touring in a bus, and then there's fly dates. And the fly dates would mean you just fly to your gig and use rental gear and play your show. But, the artist I played with would sometimes take a loss on gigs just so he could have that traveling bedroom, that traveling hotel room in the back of the bus. And, there's different types of buses. There's star buses. And the star bus, has that back bedroom. But, a lot of times buses that will be a back lounge normally that everybody can enjoy. There's the front lounge and the back lounge. But when an artist takes up the entire back lounge for their bedroom, that's a lot of space lost. And, if you're traveling somewhere and you've got a long travel, 20 hours or whatever, and, you want to get up and wake up, at noon and watch the football games or whatever, there's not going to be enough seats for everybody to sit and watch TV. So you get up and you look and see all the seats are gone, and you just go, I have to get back in my bunk. So it's easy to see that your decisions. Now, I know Jimi Hendrix, of course, he was in the process of building Electric Ladyland, his studio in New York. And I'm sure that was a very expensive endeavor. Hendrix liked to spend hours and hours in the studio, probably a precursor to Prince, who, Prince was notoriously just a workaholic in the studio. And Jimi Hendrix was similar in that he would go play a club and then spend all night in the studio. That's why you still have Jimi Hendrix albums coming out posthumously. I think just, a few years ago, they had another album come out because they dig up all this old material and do what they can with it. But, it's a tough business, and it's very easy to, get ripped off and stolen. Look at the song by AC/DC, It's a Long Way to the Top, if you want to rock and roll. Getting ripped off. That's part of the line in the song. And it's very easy, in the same way as a sideman, having to build your own rig and wanting to sound your best and wanting to have the best gear. You do all this investing in gear, and we call it spending thousands to make hundreds. But there's a lot of truth to that. If the gig is paying you $300, but your rig cost $5,000 to $6,000, it's going to take a long time to pay that off. And meanwhile, you still have your regular bills, your mortgage and or rent and your car payment and all that other stuff. So it's very easy to see where things can go south. And not everyone, even some of these big stars today, I'd say it's really tough for the medium level stars. Once COVID hit and you had the increase in gas prices and food costs and taxes and all this stuff, everything went up, and the pay probably didn't go up at all. And and there were probably less venues that you could play because some of them went out of business probably during the shutdown, which has made things much tougher for everybody. I'm down here in Florida, and just a little update on that. Someone asked in the comments, how would I get started where I'm at, trying to find a band or trying to find gigs or and there is no set way to find work in this business. And I'm doing a little reconnaissance. Now, right now I'm in Daytona, and eventually I'm going to be in Tampa. Okay. So, there's not a ton that I can do right now, not being in the area where I'm looking for work. But one thing that you can do, is, look for I looked for a funk jam in Tampa. I looked up blues clubs. I looked up blues, R&B, jazz, and I found a few places. Like I found a place called Ruby's Elixir, and I happened to look on their calendar, see who's playing there. So I noticed they have a weekly family funk jam, and I looked on their Facebook page for the family funk, and I saw some of the musicians. I tried to add them on Facebook. I'm not sure I was successful. I'm not sure they added me, but people that know me in Nashville know I played, a lot of times I used to fill in for Reggie Wooten down at 3rd and Lindsley. It's another funk jam that used to go on there. And, so a funk jam would be right up my alley and would help me find some like-minded players. But I'm not sure I was able to connect with any of those players, but I did see the son of a bass player that I used to know down here, Manny Yanez. Now, Manny is now in a nursing home, and that's another sad story about the music business. You can end up having a stroke or, a health issue, and at a very young age end up in a nursing home with 80, 90-year-old people. And it happened to another musician I know in Nashville, Scat Springs. he ended up in a nursing home, and we came, and played for him in Nashville and all that. But eventually his mother, had to move him closer to Knoxville so she could, be there for his care. And so we weren't able to go over there and visit. And I think Scat just lost the will to live and passed. I think that's really ultimately what happened. But, trying to find gigs, look up musicians, use the internet, find out where the jams are. There's also, in the Tampa area, there's a Tampa Musicians Index. And I noticed there's a lot of players on there looking for gigs, looking for bands, a lot of sort of non-paying situations, people looking for players. So it doesn't look that great right now as far as options, especially because I'm looking for the corporate wedding type work. That's, putting on slacks and a jacket and, playing everything from jazz to Bruno Mars. So that's really what I did the last, I'd probably say 5 years in Nashville. And it was good work. And I'm hoping to find a similar situation like that. So if anybody out there knows of any agents or bands doing that in the Tampa area, please let me know in the comments. And in the meanwhile, I want to thank everybody for watching this video, and stay safe out there. And this is Bad Brad signing out.